Love it. Let me go ahead and take it away then. All
What
right.
I've seen
So,
so far is like is jaw dropping. Like hey, what's up, guys? Antonio Edwards here. Look, I'm super excited, and this is going to be a game changer for you. It's a game changer for myself now that I'm just starting to use this. And this is an app, all right. And I'm pretty sure you heard about the actual tool or the web-based software itself, PropStream. And just to disclose, I am partners with them, an affiliate. And you can, if you click my link somewhere in the description, if you're interested in this, um, for that, you get a 7-day free trial test drive for using this. And this now they have the app. They have the app that goes with the PropStream, guys, and you can use it right here on your mobile device. It wasn't there at first. It wasn't possible at first, but now it's possible that you have the mobile app to go on your phone. You can use this device to run comps from your phone. You can find cash buyers right there from your phone. And all of us, we use our phones more than, well, at least for me, I use my phone more than my desktop, my laptop, because I'm on the go. Anyways, I'm super excited. I have Burton here. He's one of the guys, one of the magic guys behind the PropStream, and we want to peel back the curtain and show you. We're going to actually dial in what this app is and how you can navigate PropStream using the mobile app. So I want to introduce Burton back. I know I had him on a few times here, but welcome, Burton. I appreciate your time.
hey Antonio, what's going on? And thanks so much for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I missed you, man. It's good to see you again, and good
likewise.
to
Right.
come back with some new stuff and get everybody excited on what we've done in the last couple
Yeah.
months, and hopefully today we'll just have your jaw dropping at the end of it all, right?
And guys, I'm taking notes because I'm still new to this mobile side of it. It's overall the same, but it has a little differences to it. So I'm gonna be taking notes. I have my sheet right here and my pen. So
Love
Burton,
it. Let me go ahead and take it away then. All
what
right.
I've seen
So
so far is like is jaw dropping. Like, so
so
I'm excited to see more about this app here.
you can see the app right now on your screen, right, Antonio?
Absolutely, looks great.
Perfect. So
Yep.
let me go ahead and log in. I mean, again, guys, for those of you guys that already have PropStream, just go into the App Store or the Google Play Store. You can search PropStream and then download it. It's going to just use the
Mm-hmm.
same username and password, right? It's nothing extra if you're already a current subscriber. If you're new, just like Antonio says, click on the link down below. Probably want to follow along. I definitely think what you're going to learn today is going to change how you approach properties when you're actually out there on the go. Okay, so when you log in, here's what's happening. We're going to throw you on our main search page, right? Now, the thing to note is the icons are not on the left side anymore. They're actually on the very bottom of the screen. So you're going to see 5 icons. Search. This is where you can search an address, an APN, or geolocate, and that's where we're on now. Favorites. Just like your My Properties, favorites is your mobile app like folder. So as you're out there driving for dollars or you're pulling up properties in our system, you can put a heart on it or favorite that property. And this is where we're going to store it. Now, the key important part about favoriting a property is not only is it going to get stored in this area, but it's also going to get stored on the PropStream desktop version. So when you go into your My Properties, you'll see a new mobile folder or mobile section at the lower left-hand side. So as you're adding on your mobile app, it's going to get sent over to your PropStream desktop as well. Then we have Drive, a revolutionary feature that's only here because of the amount of data that you've grown to know and love with PropStream. And I'll talk more about that in just a few. History is just any properties that you've ever searched, any property that you click on, any property that you search. Even if you didn't favorite it, we're just going to show you what you've looked at because you might change your mind down the road. And then more. More is your profile. Here you can see your download limit, your export limit, your reset date. You can go to your account information and update your profile. your business information. This is fairly important because we do have the postcard feature. So if you want to send postcards, we're going to need you to fill out your business information because our templates are going to include your email that you see on there, the website that you have on there that you want your leads to go to. And then we need your address for the return address in case some of these leads return it or it doesn't get delivered successfully. Then we want to make sure that the cards go back to you so you know which properties not to send postcards to once again. Okay, so any changes you make, hit save down below. And that's just the first box. Mobile activity log is anything that you'd use in the drive area, you'll be able to record, as you can see there at the top. In the mobile activity log, it shows you those drives that have been recorded in the last 7 days, 30 days, or all the drives that you've ever performed and recorded within PropStream. And the idea here is to see the route that you took at that one point in time when you went driving for dollars. That way you're not repeating the same routes again, essentially. So we are going to store your drive history. That way you can view it again. And not only view the drive history, but you're going to be able to see on the map, the routes that you took. And those little green houses are actually the properties that you stopped and click on at that time that maybe you saw something like an HOA sign or a code violation sign or tall grass and whatnot. So we're storing that information so you can review it later on. You have our customer support icon, our help videos, and news and updates. And then finally, you can log out. So that's our user interface. It isn't as complex as our desktop, but let's get to searching. So the purpose of the PropStream app is to take what you've already grown to know and love, the details within the PropStream desktop, but now on the go. I don't want you to mistake this app for a driving for dollars app, even though it has those features. This is an app that does more than just that. So let's start with the search page. The idea with the PropStream mobile app is, let's say you're visiting a property. Now, normally you would have to take your paperwork with you, right? Your folders, your printouts, your laptop, your tablet, you got to bring your hotspot. Well, with the PropStream mobile app, that's no longer the case because with the search function, you can now type in an address. So we can type in an address here, and I'm in Southern California, but I'm going to type in an address in Miami, or in this case, it's giving me two options. Is it the one in Medina, Washington, or Miami, Florida? But I'm going to go ahead and click on the Miami, Florida one, and it's going to send me now to the property's details. So that's what separates us from most apps out there is the details that you're going to be getting on the parcel that you're clicking on or the address that you're searching. So as you're already familiar with, these are the same details that are in the PropStream desktop. But let me kind of break it down for you. So top to bottom, the first thing you're going to see is the black bar, and that's going to give you the address, the APN, the year built, property characteristics. To the right, you're going to see a tag icon, a heart icon, and the estimated value. Now, the tag icon was designed for, let's say you actually stepped out of the property or you saw something, or maybe you talked to the owner while you were visiting the property. The tag icon allows you to tag a status. In the status, you get to choose whether maybe you left a message, maybe it's a follow-up, maybe the appointment was canceled. You have different statuses you can choose from. So maybe you went driving for dollars and you stopped and sent a postcard. So property status, we sent marketing. Then you want to tag that property. Go ahead, Antonio.
Quick. So the people that's watching this right now, they can really, in some nutshell, use this as a CRM as well for their leads, like managing their leads.
That's correct, in a way, because the idea is we don't want you to. We don't believe everybody has photographic memory, right? So you might be doing 20, 30 properties every time you go driving for dollars, and each property is going to be a different story. You might end up talking to the owner, you might end up speaking to a neighbor, you might send marketing, you might have made an offer, or the owner said come back next week, and that's what that status is. So to your point, we want to make sure that you know the position that you left the property in when you walked away at that very moment. So in this case, let's say we sent marketing. We're going to send postcards once we pulled up to the property. So that's the first thing we're going to use. And then the second thing is tags, right? There was something about that property that made you stop. And we have some tags here for you, like broken, boarded windows, there's mold on the roof, fire damage. You can check off any of the ones that are provided, or you can even add your own. You can hit edit just to the right, and here you can type in your very own, right? Grass is red. So as you're typing your own, you can hit add, and now it puts it as one of the other options that you can tag. So the idea is not only did we send postcards, but we need to know the condition of the property. So let's tag those conditions, right? Is there a rusted car in the back? Is the roof caving in? You can add what you're seeing. And then finally, notes, right? Something else might happen, something more detailed. So in the notes, you can do things like furnace is broken, the owner won't let me see what's behind the shed, or the wife makes all the decisions. You can sense that, right? So you want to know that. So if next week you call the owner, hey, is your wife there? I'd like to make sure both of you guys are here when I make this offer, right? So the tag allows you to put a status, a tag, and your own notes. And then finally, you can assign it to your team members. So we, again, have team member accounts we released a few months ago. This allows you to now assign it to your disposition team member, or your acquisitions team member. So I found the property while driving. Now Ethan's going to be the one that's going to follow up with it. But Ethan needs to know what I've done. I sent marketing. Here's the tags on the property. And Ethan, when you do follow up, make sure the wife is there because she makes all the decisions. Now I can hit apply, and the property has been tagged, right? Now, you're probably wondering, well, where is the information? Well, it's stored in the tags area, but when you go to the PropStream desktop app here, so when you go to the PropStream desktop version, sorry, here, let me log out and get back in. So when we go to the PropStream, the tags are now on the desktop version. So remember, as I mentioned, when you get the PropStream mobile app, we're going to create a new folder in the My Properties. It's the mobile app folder. And here you'll be able to see all the properties that you've saved. And when you click on them, you'll be able to even see those tags, right? We sent marketing, overgrown lawn, all that information. The wife makes all the decisions. So let's say I'm out driving for dollars, I'm tagging properties, I'm adding them to my mobile folder. Now when I get back to the office, I can now do a follow-up on it here. But not only do a follow-up, understand the situation each one of those properties was unfolding on, right? So that's the idea with the synergy between our mobile app and the desktop version. So that's tagging. And then you have the heart icon, which is to favorite the property. When you favorite it, it goes in your favorite area of your mobile app. It also goes into the desktop version of the mobile app section of My Properties. And that's just the black bar. We then have the property characteristics in the white area there. We have the MLS photos or a bird's eye photo. So if the property's on the MLS, you'll see dots near the center or the bottom of the map. What that means is that you can scroll left and right to see those MLS photos that we have for you. Or instead of scrolling left to right, you can just tap on the photo and we'll show you all the photos that are stored on the MLS. So these are either current photos because the property is currently listed, or photos from when it was previously listed. And then below that, you have all of PropStream's details. So these icons are going to do certain things. So let's start with details. Details is all the details that are in our desktop version. So here you'll be able to see the status. Is it in pre-foreclosure or not? Short sell. And so that's that first area right up top, right below the picture. And then below that, you're going to have these bubble pills or these buttons that you can click on. The first one's automatically selected for you, which is property details, but that's going to show you the owner's name, characteristics, legal description, if you're writing out a contract maybe, HOA information, buyer-seller information. Now, if the property is going through different situations, then you're also going to see certain things. Like in this case, the property is in pre-foreclosure, so we get to see the pre-foreclosure details as well. And so the bottom half changes, right? So think about it. You're at the property talking to the owner. Sure, you can have all your printouts, but now you have the phone and you're talking with credibility. You have the details, knowing that the person obviously is motivated because of the pre-foreclosure. And just to make matters even better for you, the pre-foreclosure details, if you scroll to the very bottom, we have documents that you can purchase through the mobile app. So you can purchase documents and actually see the notice of les pendens, file, right? Or the deed or the mortgage information. So we
Hey,
can.
stop, Bird, just stop there real quick. I'm gonna cut you off. I just for the listeners and the watchers watching this video, we understand that, but why is it important for them to go to that document section? Like, just dive a little deeper into what's the importance of these type of documents
So
for some in some cases.
for one, the most important part is to know who the defendant is. So right now we know that the defendant is Hoven, and I'm going to butcher his last name, but Hoven V, right? We know that the document is a legitimate document. There's, you know, let's face it, one of the most common concern is how accurate is data, right? This is where our data comes from. We pull records directly from the county. So this is to, again, give you peace of mind, right? The owner can't dodge the fact that there is a document sitting in the county clerk house of Miami-Dade, which you see here at the very top, right? You can see the document number. So there's no hiding of the fact. That's the power of having this type of information. But for me, the other important part is that I need to know who the defendant, who's the owner, right? Because if I'm not talking to Hoven, guess what? I'm not talking to the decision maker. Right? It could be someone that's trying to daisy chain a deal. It could be a relative. It could be someone who just absolutely makes no decisions. So you might be exerting your energy and time with this person making offers, and then at the end of the day, it could be a no because Hoven is the one that makes the final say. So I think to me, those are the most important things about having these type of documents at your hand. And then finally, with these documents, let's say you have a buyer, let's say you have a team member, or you know what, you just want to share it. You can hit share. You can share it to a team member who's about to go to the property, or you can share it to an external contact, like your buyers. You can add notes, maybe a title company, maybe your hard lenders, let them know you found a deal, you may have them check it and whatnot. So you can email these documents outside of our platform. Okay. So that's just the pre-foreclosure history. And then again, no two properties are the same. So this property happens to be going through a bankruptcy, and we can see the bankruptcy details. It also has liens, so we can see the lien details, right? It was on the market, so we can see that it recently failed on the market, and we can see the agent's description. That's where we got these photos from, is because we had the MLS details, and the MLS details are there. Listing price, days on market, the agent.
We need to get a lawn care to cut that grass off the house.
I agree with you. You got tax information, transaction history, and this shows you the deeds, mortgage information. Again, you can purchase that. Another important part, am I really talking to the right person? And there's Hoven right there, right? So you can see the trustee's deed on the property. We want to make sure we're talking to all the right people that need to make a decision on this property. Again, this deed can be shared to a buyer, to whoever you think needs to see it. And then finally, the open loan. So we're going to also show you any open mortgages that are on the property. And we, again, collect up to 4 loan positions, so you can see all of that. So that's the first part of having the app, is whether you're searching an address. So you can type in the address and then click on the suggestion. You can search an APN. This is very popular for people that are searching vacant land. Type in the county, type in the APN, and then hit look up APN. And then my personal favorite is geolocate. Geolocate says, hey, look, you probably don't know where you're at. So this is where you're at on the map. And then you can zoom out. You can go north, you can go south, you can go west, you can go east. But the idea with geolocate is this: hey, this is where you're at on the map. You can zoom out. And the idea is that you're going to, pull up next to a property. Maybe I'm right here, and all you have to do now is just tap on that parcel. And when you do that, it's going to give you a brief description of that property. And you can tap on the photos to see the photos if it's on the MLS. But the real idea is that you can now go into the details and then, see what situation that property is going through, right? So all 153 million records that we have, property records that we have, are also within our mobile app. So whether it's clicking on a parcel, an address, or APN search. Now, another thing with geo search that I like is I like to call it the conversational search. So let's say, we're out having lunch or, having coffee, and we're bragging to each other, and you're like, hey, I scored this property out in, Woodland Hills. So you can type in an address or a location. So I can type in Woodland Hills, and then it's going to give me these options. I can click on it, and then now it zooms into Woodland Hills for me, right? And so the cool part is I can search within my area. I can search in a different city. I can search in a different state. But now that I'm in that city or that vicinity, I can now zoom in on this market. And again, the parcels will populate. And then I can click on these properties and see property details. And that's how powerful this system is that you get to see all of their records, right? We want you to know everything that we have on that property. So when you're out there making decisions, you're making very conscious decisions and very informed decisions, okay? So address, APN, geolocate, those are the three types of searches that you can perform. And then the first area when you get there is the details page. Now, let's say we happen to be talking to the owner and the owner's like, okay, you know what? I need to sell my house. Make me an offer. Well, when that happens, most of the times we have to tell them, you know, we have to get back to you. We have to do a little bit more research. Well, now you can just run comps right on the spot. So the next icon to details is comps. And let me just reset my filters here for you. But the comps is going to show you all the properties that sold within that area, right? And it's the same as our desktop, except a little bit shorter. What we're only going to give you are comps, which is the first box that's in blue, your neighboring records. So maybe you want to see any neighbors that recently sold, or maybe you're in that phase where, hey, the contract is locked up, you're excited, you walk out the door. Well, now we need a buyer in the area, right? So you're so excited, you're already looking for buyers. You can use these three areas for that. But the most important part of this area is the comps. So in the comps area, again, you'll have the decision to choose public records, MLS records, or use both. Just a brief description, public records are all real estate transactions, whether it's a transfer between family members, an auction, a cash transaction, a bank finance that property. Public records is everything. So just be careful, because if you're going to try to get an after repair value, then you're not going to want to use auction values. You're not going to want to use cash values, right? So just be aware that although this shows you everything that the county has reported, you do need to be aware of what type of records to pull from it. MLS records. These are all the properties that are either listed as active, sold, pending, contingent on the MLS, right? So realtor data, right? So this is all the properties that have sold within the neighborhood that are on the MLS. And then both is going to show you everything. It's going to show you both public records and MLS records side by side, right? So if you have access to both, let's just dot our I's and cross our T's. Now be careful, because your market might be different. You might be in a non-disclosure state like Texas, so you're only going to need to use the MLS option here, okay? So understand that we're giving you different data sets, but there's an importance to each one of them, okay? Well, let's go to both. So now that we have both records side by side, do we end it there? No. What you need to do, because you can see there's 62 records that are down below here, we need to filter them. And to the right of both, you're going to see kind of like this soundboard, if you're into music, the soundboard type of icon here. But that's our filter. And it's the same filters that are on our desktop. So what's the comp sell date range? The last 3 months, last 6 months, last year, or you want to apply your own date range? So we can do 6 months. We can then increase or decrease our distance. We can keep that at a mile. Maybe we want to go 2 miles. Maybe you want to go 0.5. So you can apply your distance there. Next is square footage, followed by status. What type of MLS listings are you trying to pull for comps? Active listings, pending listings, sold listings. We then have bedrooms, bathrooms, year built. And then it's apples to apples, right? Property classifications. If you're looking to comp a vacant property, then you need to go to classifications and choose vacant land. If you're comping a single family property, then you're going to choose residential. Now, it doesn't end there, because there are different types of residential properties, just like there's different type of vacant land. So after you choose your classification, it's going to alter the property type below. And now you get to choose what type of residential property, what type of vacant land. So you have the core four, which is single family, condo, multifamily. That's what most counties record properties under. But some counties do us the favor of getting into more details. They'll let us know that it's a condominium. They'll let us know that it's a high-rise apartment. So apples to apples, make sure if you're pulling comps on a mobile home, that you're doing residential mobile homes for your comping, and manufactured homes as well, right? So apples to apples. Once you've made your your selection, hit close, and then you can choose the last three things, which is sell situation. What type of public records do you need? Again, be careful, because if you choose the wrong one, you're going to get erroneous values. If you're trying to get an after repair value, don't give them a foreclosure value. Don't give them an auction value. Don't give them cash buyer value. You're going to want to look for finance, what banks are financing our newly constructed properties as well would be a good one. Okay. And then you have multi-parcel cells that you can include or exclude, and even type in the subdivision of the comps that you're looking for. But finally, you're going to hit apply at the very bottom, and it's going to do its magic and say, okay, there are 11 selected, and these are my 11. And it doesn't end there, because what you can do now is you can either tap on any of these results. So as you're scrolling down, you can tap on it and it's going to show you that comp. And you can tap on the photos if there are any and see, okay, was this a property that sold after it was repaired? And it definitely looks like it was to me. So this is one of the properties I'll be choosing for my comparables, right? So we want you to go down the list, look at your headers. It's kind of like a spreadsheet view. So you can kind of go down. And to the right of the filter, you'll have a gear icon. This will allow you to customize what type of information you want to see when running comps, right? Obviously, you want sell date range and sell amount. Maybe you don't need the property type because you're already telling them to look for, mobile homes. You don't need the status. So you can create your own layout. You can make it the default layout. You can save it. But the idea is it alters your information down below. Now I can see the sell date and sell amount, right? So when you're, again, going through the comps, you could tap on them. Or if you really just want to get the details of that comp, you can push and hold the property, the result, and it takes you to the comp. And then you can see the photos and the details of that comp. And at the very top, you can tap on back to comps and it takes you back there, right? So again, the idea is that you might be caught off guard. They want an offer right then and there, right? We don't want you to lose that. So once you run your comps, the final thing to do is below comps, the blue box that says 18, there are 3 horizontal lines. You can click on that and you can lock in your comps by saving it, right? Maybe the owner says, come back in the hour after I'm done doing the lawn, right? So you want to lock in your comps. That way you don't have to rerun them again. Also in the horizontal bar, you can view the report. So let's say you locked it up. Now you got to send the comps to your buyers. So same report that shows you the low, the high, and the average, shows you where the comps are that you've selected, and even gives a little like thumbnail photo of each of the comps that you've selected as well, right? So we're trying our best to try to get everything done right then and there, give you all the information that you need at the palm of your hand. And then with the comps report, you can save it. You can even share it to your team members, to your buyers, and whatever it may be. So we went over the details because that's the thing that we believe you need to know, right? Hey, not every single property you come across is going to be a motivated seller. So go into the details and find out if they are. Then get your ARV by running our comps, and then go to the opportunity. Is there equity? Is there a mortgage? How many liens are on the property? These are things that you need to know because it's going to dictate what your offer is going to be, right? You know the level of pain, that they're going through a bankruptcy and a pre-foreclosure. You got the ARV, but does the mortgage that they have and the liens that they owe, does that give you any meat on the bones, right? So that's the important part about the PropStream app, is for you to use it to not just go out there and market to properties, but to make informed decisions, see the pain, run the comps, see the opportunity. And then once, it all makes sense, hey, there's a lot of equity, this is actually a really good deal, then we can skip trace the property. So there's the skip trace feature there. You can skip trace within the application. We'll give you a landline, a cell phone, or an email. Or if you don't, want to skip trace, you can do postcards. So you can send.
That's such a efficient feature right there. Is you can do it right from your phone and skip trace, guys. So
Yeah.
take note. You skip trace right from your mobile phone,
Right
through
from your
the app.
through the app. And you can send postcards too. So if it's a non-owner occupied property, you notice, the mailbox is not there, we can send a postcard. And some of them too have like the number 12 and 13, where you can take a picture of the property. So you can take a picture, take a photo, or maybe you already have it in your library, but you can take a picture and use that photo. And so what that does is it puts it on your postcard. So let's say that that was the property's address, right? This will be the postcard that you're sending out. I want to buy your home, and it's going to show that image that you just took a picture of. So again, the idea is that in the past, we understood many people that were driving for dollars would just go out there and anytime they saw a distressed property or something that indicated that it could be a lead, they would just send postcards and skip trace it right away. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you want to get as many leads as possible. But the challenge with that no one was really talking about is that, when you are sending 10 postcards to 10 abandoned properties, do all 10 abandoned properties have equity? Right? Because if you're wholesaling, that's the main, that's the goal is it has to have equity. Just because it looks abandoned doesn't mean it's, yeah, it's a potential lead, but if it's abandoned with negative equity, then wholesaling is not going to work out. And you just wasted money on skip tracing and money on postcards, right? And so that was what we needed it to be was, hey, before I go out there and start spending money on postcards and skip tracing, let me analyze that property really quick, right? Let me make sure there's equity. Let me make sure all of that, because now it makes sense to skip trace. Now it makes sense to send postcard, right? Because if it didn't have equity, then I need to move on to the next property, or do some creative seller financing. So I may need to still send postcards, but a different type of postcard, right? Instead of buying in cash, we might need to expose you with some creative seller financing, right? So that's how this whole icon is laid out from left to right. Then you have the documents that you can purchase. So if you ran a comps and saved it, it's there waiting for you. You have the same print button document. So in our desktop, anytime you're in a property, you can hit the print button at the top and you get the CMA, or the comparative market analysis printout. It's in here too. It's just all the details on the property that you were just looking at. So you can print out the details of the property and the comps, and both of them can be shared to a team member or external contact. And then you have directions. How do I get to that house from where I'm at, right? So if I wanted to drive from California to Miami, that's how I would go about doing it, right? But obviously, this is more geared for something more local. And then finally, share. You can share this property information to anybody out there. And just some quick shortcuts. We noticed that we know that the details can get a little cramped. If you tap on the black bar at the very top, the photos go away, right? So now you can get more details. You can also turn the phone horizontally on some of the pages, and that will also give you more information on on the app itself. So again, feel free to turn it horizontally and you'll see that as well. So that is our search page. Again, any searches that you tag, any searches that you favorite will go into the favorites, and that's the next icon here. And so again, the important part here is anything that's in here gets sent to your desktop version. Another important aspect here is that your favorites can be filtered. So if there is a certain property that you need to filter, like who originated this property, what properties have scheduled appointments, that's all within the favorites area. And then drive. Oh, looks like pardon me, Tony, are you still there? Yep. I think my internet is a little slow, so hold on 1 second here.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I'm sorry. Let me just log right back in. I saw my Wi-Fi fluttered. I apologize. Obviously kids are back in school. Everyone's virtual learning, right? So let me get back in
This is
there.
great. I'm pretty sure the viewers that's watching this are pretty stoked about this. I mean, this is amazing. This is a game changer because it just makes it that much more convenient for us investors. Because we're on the go, we're on the go. We're looking for deal after deal, and having on the app on the phone is just incredible. It's incredible.
Absolutely. And then the technology is finally there for us to do this, right? This wouldn't have been feasible 2 years ago. We had so much data. We didn't even know how to connect it all, but we finally figured it out. Technology finally met up with us. And so in the favorites page, again, all the properties that you've stored, you can, again, click on them and it takes you to that property's details. So it's very familiar to the My Properties area. But within the favorites, again, you can filter the results. So if you needed to look for things that were either set marketing or made an offer. These are things that you can filter. So hang on just a second here. There we go. So we got the properties details. And again, you can filter at the top. You know, did you save it in the last month? Was it saved in the last 3 months? Show me properties in the last 6 months. Or you can customize it. I want to see all the properties that were favorite in the last week. Show me the properties that we sent postcards to, or skip traced, or shared with a buyer or whoever it may be. Who the team members. So show me all the properties that are assigned to, you know, me or my team member. You can even see who originated the saved property. Was it you that saved the property initially? Was it a team member? See, was it a scout? So you have the ability to filter not just for when it was saved and who originated, but also status. And that's right there in the center at the top. You can say, okay, show me all the properties that we sent marketing to. And then it will filter and only show you the properties that you sent marketing to, right? So in this case, I don't have any. So that's the idea with the favorites page. Everything here is stored. And then finally, we have our drive. So what this does is it just changes the driving for dollars industry, I think. So the first thing when you get to the drive is, do you want to record what you're about to do right now? And you can hit yes or on or off. There are two options with drive. The first one is set filters in drive. So if you're wondering, can I build a list since you guys do that on your desktop? Yeah, you can. The only thing is you can't search a market because, I mean, the idea with the mobile app is you're out there visiting properties, right? So instead of searching a market, you're searching a radius here at the top. So show me all the properties within a 2-mile radius or a 5-mile radius or up to 50, right? So 2-mile radius around you. And then to the left of that, it's the same filters that are on our desktop. Do you want a non-owner occupied property? Excuse me, do you want one that's vacant or occupied? Do you want one within any of our categories? Like, do you want a high equity one? Do you want a lien? You then have the other filters like property characteristics. You're looking for a mobile home, a single family home, a duplex, and you have your property characteristics to go along with that. You also have the same MLS filters. So this will let you choose whether it's on or off market, or if it recently failed on the market, or if it's active. You have other list MLS filters. So again, the same filters on our desktop, but on our mobile app. And you got your pre-foreclosure. So again, you're just building properties that you're going to go visit in the next few moments. Ownership info, whether they're individual or out of state. You have the lien, bankruptcy, and divorce status filter. So you can add a lien to the property or bankruptcy to the property, specify the type of lien. You can even ignore those type of leads. You can suppress, you can say, I don't want any liens. I don't want any bankruptcies. So the idea is, hey, these are the type of properties I want to drive to within a 2-mile radius. Apply your filters, and then you hit apply down below. And then what PropStream is going to do is it's going to obviously look in our database, put a 2-mile radius around where you're at, and it's going to show you those properties around you. And so driving for dollars has changed now, because when you were out there driving for dollars, you're out there looking for physically distressed properties. Well, these are properties that are distressed on paper, right? And let's look at number 3. I'm going to tap on that. I mean, let's ask ourselves this question. I don't think any of us would have considered this a property, this a driving for dollars property, because in just a few moments, you're going to see, I mean, we saw the photos. Look how amazing this property looks. We would have never considered this a property that would have been a lead because it's not physically distressed, right? But because I have the details now and because it populated on my filters, it's telling me it is distressed. The person has a lien of $3,100 on the property, right? So these are the hidden gems that you've been driving by the whole time, right? You've been driving by bankruptcy records. You've been driving by pre-foreclosures and liens and tax delinquencies because they look good, right? The properties look great. So now your leads should double. You should be adding the distressed properties, the physically distressed ones, and you should be looking for things within your area that are vacant, out-of-state owners, high equity with a lien, a failed listing. Sky's the limit. But when you set your filters in Drive, that's what happens. Shows you all of these properties that meet that specific criteria that you just built a few moments ago. here they are on the map, and now you can click on them. And before even driving to this property, because again, that's going to waste my gas money, right? Before I'm here at home right now, so I've just built a list. Now I know the owner's name, I know the pain, I can run comps on it right now. I can see the opportunity. Does he have equity? How many mortgages does he have? What are his liens? All right, great. This is a lead. Let me go ahead and just call Nick now so I can skip trace him from home, right? Or I can send him a postcard if I don't want to talk to Nick right now, right? Or if I'm filling up to it, I can just go to the directions and get to that house right now. This is a revolutionary add-on because it piggybacks off the data that we have already that you've been using to build your list from the desktop. This time, it's like that Pokemon game, right? But for real estate, right? You're now looking for properties that meet a certain criteria, and let's just go drive to them. So that's the first one. Set filters and drive. Let us know what you want, and we'll show you what's in your area. So whether you're in your city, or let's say you fly into a different state and you just landed there, you can type in those filters and it'll show you those results within that new area that you just made. So if you're moving markets, right, this is a great tool for that. And then finally, you have Just Drive. This is geared for our free style drivers, right? You're out there, you don't know where you're going. So you're just going to start driving. So as you're driving, maybe out to lunch, out to a friend's house, or just cruising to find properties, you're going to start pulling up to properties, right? And that's why we show you these parcels. You can pull up to property and then you can click on it and we'll put a pin on there for you. You can then go into the details and read it if you want. So again, you're freestyling, you're out there driving. And at the very end of it, as you're, let's say an hour has gone by and you've tapped on 20 properties and you've favorite them and you've tagged them, what you then can do is hit N at the very bottom and it's going to allow you to save that drive. You can save it, you can name it, it's going to tell you your duration, your distance traveled. But when you save it, again, it's going to get stored in the More section. And in the More section, you're going to be able to see all the drives that you've performed. And again, this is me going out to lunch here. So let me show you. This is my lunch and leads saved search here that I have. So here it shows me leaving my home, driving down the street.
That's really cool, Burton. Really cool.
You can tap on the properties that you were looking at along the way. So, and then just sort, and I do want to make sure you guys understand that we're not just residential. We have commercial buildings as well. Like I look at commercial buildings. Like here was one. I saw this dentist building. It was completely like abandoned. I'm thinking COVID-19 might have impacted it, but I just want to let people know that it's not just residential properties. We have land, commercial, transportation. So if you see a bus stop, you can click on the parcel and we'll give you who owns that bus stop. Right. So if you see something about that bus stop that looks like, hey, it might need to be in new hands, perhaps, we do have commercial records as well. So it's pulling that up. As you can see here, I'm waiting for that bird's eye view. So there's that dentist building I pulled up. So I just want to let you guys know we do have more than just residential. But that is the PropStream mobile app. I want to thank you guys. And Antonio, thank you for your time. But I hope you guys were able to see the value. Apologize that it took us a little bit to get this out there, but I hope you understand why.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Burton. And guys, like, see, look, get the app, guys. It's right there in the phone. And you just to confirm, Burton, do they have to, if they don't have an account and they're not already a member, do they have to create an account on the desktop first?
Yes, they do. So we do want you to go to the desktop app, and I actually appreciate you bringing that up. Let me show you exactly when you sign up to PropStream. So once you're already in the desktop version, you have the mobile app. Just download it, use the same username and password that you're using when you sign in. So same username and password. Now, here's the one thing that you need to know when making purchases on the mobile app. You can't do it through the mobile app directly in terms of applying a credit card. You actually have to go into the desktop version, into your settings, and here on the right-hand side, you're gonna have to add credits to your account. So we wanna make sure, obviously, we're not having to increase any pricing for you. In-app purchases will cause us to do that, and we don't wanna do that, right? So what you wanna do is if you need to skip trace or send postcards within the app, go to the desktop, and put some money in your wallet, $20, $30, $50. That way you can use it in your app. And then again, if you're the main account holder, you get the mobile app for free. But what if you have a team member, right? What if you have a nephew, a niece who wants to help out? You can go to the manage team area, and here on the right-hand side, you can add a team member. Now there's 3 different choices. There's a team member who gets full web and mobile access. They can do everything that you can do. Run comps, build leads on the desktop, use the mobile app, but you can limit their download and spending limit. So unlike the main account holder who has unlimited amount, you can limit what your team members are spending. If your team member is, let's say, only doing dispositions, they never go out in the field, you can just give them web only, right? So you're out there going on the field, you're tagging and adding properties, and your team member who only has web only can now do the comps on the back end. And then there's the scout. That's your nephew, your niece, or that Uber driver you just had a great conversation with, right? You can give them a free mobile app account. And what it does is it only gives them the ability to tag and save a property. They don't get to see details. They don't see owner's name. They can't run comps. They can't do marketing, which isn't the point because they're not investors. You are. They're your scouts. They're out there looking for things that you might have overlooked because you're not in the same the route that they're taking. So this is the managed team area. 3 different team members you can add, full web and mobile, web only, or the scout account. You can add up to 5 right away. If you need more, just call customer support and we can approve that request for you. But great question. And again, yeah, you don't need anything more. Just try, even in the trial period, you can try out the mobile app. So you get a few days to try it out and a discounted price. Just make sure you guys click on Antonio's link down below.
Yeah, so I love that you brought up that scout part where it's basically like, I look at it as like, if you're watching this, guys, it's a bird. If you have some bird dolls that's driving for dollars for you, it's a free feature that comes automatically with your account. Have those bird dolls, add them to that scout section. And if they have a property, I guess they'll log in, they'll be added to their account as a scouter. And whenever they find a property, they'll tag it and boom.
Correct. Yeah. And then it's going to be, and you can give them credit too, because when you're in the My Properties, for each member that adds, they're going to have their own folder. So you'll know which of your scouts are doing the work. You know what I mean? So they'll say John's folder, Clarissa's folder, Jan's folder, right? So you'll know which of your scouts are doing that. And again, for accountability purposes, you might want to give them a nice little gift or something. And you want to make sure that, you're holding the right people accountable and stuff like that. So.
Do you mind going in, like where in the app would the scouter go to? Is that something you can share with?
Yeah. So if you're on the app itself, so
like as if you were a scouter and they went in, like how would they?
Yeah.
So you can just put an address as if you was a scouter and you just found a property.
Correct. So if you're a scout, here's pretty much what was going to happen. You're going to get the same search page. You're going to get all of that good stuff, but you just won't have access to the details. So the layout will still look the same. It's still going to look like this. The only thing though is that when a scout pulls up to a property and they click on a parcel, they're going to just see brief detail information. So this is what they're going to see. They can go into the details. And then everything down below is blocked out. It's pretty much blurred out. They're not going to be able to see details. They can't run comps. They can't do any of that. The idea though is your scout, they don't need to know them because they're not the investor, you are. The idea is that your scout has pulled up to this property and they saw a code violation sign, or they saw, the grass was dying. So now they can tag it, right? Hey, appointment or follow up on it, right? You got to follow up on it. And then broken windows, rusted car, overgrown lawn, owner was in the back, or whatever the notes were. And then when you apply it, it tags the property, and then they're going to want to save that property. So as you can see, it's saved. And so that's it. They go on to the next property. Meanwhile, the main account holder will see it in their folder. They'll go into their folder and they'll see that the 34 La Sorna Rancho has been added, and then you can see the tags. Follow up.
Beautiful.
And then, this is that information. So scouts are very important. It's, again, a free account. Utilize it. I mean, it's not going to hurt, right? So go from there.
Yeah, that feature alone is basically like having bird dogs, go out and scout properties for you. That's one of the cheapest ways to acquire deals, is having different bird dogs, and you'll pay them on the back end like a finder's fee, a bird dog fee, 500 to 1,000, give or take on the average dollars. Guess depending on the size of the net of the deal. Just for them implementing an address inside the mobile app or finding that deal for you, and you do all the the grunt work behind it. I mean, that's a great way. Just that one little way. That's one small way to find deals. That's in a great way. But if you're interested, guys, click the link below somewhere that you see below this video. Click the link below. That's going to take you to my partnership link with PropStream, and with that being said, we're going to get you a 7-day free test drive just by going through that link. Test it out. This is like a wholesaling business in a box, basically. Like for your wholesalers that's watching this video, real estate investors. I mean, you're acquiring the data. You're getting data for motivated sellers. You can filter those out from pre-foreclosures, vacant homes, absentees, you name it. Or if you're trying to sell a deal, we get cash buyer lists from this as well. You can skip trace, you can send out postcards. You see you have the scouter section. There's so much, and now you have it on the app. So click the link below. If you don't have an account yet, click the link below. Get yourself a free 7-day test drive now. And Burton, I appreciate your time once again, man. You killed it on this video.
Man,
And
I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm happy, and those notes will get bigger, I'm sure, because we've gotten a lot of suggestions, good ones, from our audience, from our users. We're always open to suggestions. If you guys see something, let us know. But no, I thank you, man. I thank you for your time, and just let your audience know if they ever need any help, call our customer support, find us on Facebook. We want to make sure you guys are dialed in. We want to take care of you guys. But have fun, and we like to hear all the good stories that you guys have, and hopefully hear that you guys are locking up some deals.
Hey, thank you, Burton. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.